solution major projects. To this effect, the government relies on its development partners and especially on USS investors through B2B meetings, which will be an important moment of this economic event. I wish that Cameroonian economic and commercial mission will be the new beginning for a more dynamic cooperation between our two countries. It is at this juncture that, on behalf of the Minister of Commerce of Cameroon, I declare open the working session of the Economic and Trade Mission in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Tiane is a veteran capital here. She's my boss and my boss to be. She's a former chief of staff of Congressman Bobby Rush, and she mentored me when I started working on the Hill. She's an expert in international affairs. She started her career at NDI, National Democracy Institute, and become a trade lawyer and an expert in telecommunications. So she passed and worked on passing the savings legislation that changed the telecommunication rules and foreign commerce communication laws. So let's welcome Yale for us people.
Thank you, everyone. I think I met mostly everyone this morning, so thank you for coming. This is going to be a great panel. The plenary, the first session is the title is simple. It's doing business in Cameroon. That said, I want to call to the stage some of my distinguished panelists. I think I do see him. Mr. N.J. Dr. K.K., can you please come? And Mr. Beaumont Donatus, where are you? Can you please come to the... Here they are. Please have a seat. And for the sake of time, we're just going to go right into it. I'm going to quickly read a quick bio of Mr. Beaumont Donatus so we can commence. He is a senior civil administrator with close to 25 years of service in various sector-level positions within the Ministry of Trade and Commerce in Cameroon and the Ministry of Industries, Mines, and Technological Development, in which he variedly held positions such as Senior Research Officer, Deputy Director, Assistant Director of Investment Code Management Unit, and in 2010 he was appointed by the head of state to the prestigious position of Deputy General Manager to the newly created Cameroon Investment Promotion Agency, which has the responsibility of promoting Cameroon's economic and business opportunities worldwide and attracting direct investment into Cameroon. Our second distinguished panelist is Mr. J. Thomas Kincaid. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Kincaid? Kincaid, he said it, I'm sorry. He is a civil administrator serving at the Ministry of Economic Planning and Regional Development in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Since 2008, he is appointed as Research Officer #1 at the Directorate General of Cooperation and Regional Integration, with responsibility to assist in negotiating and sourcing for funding for the implementation of major overarching projects in Cameroon. So I guess he is what we call the money man. He goes find the money. This is what we would say in the States. He has been able to assist the government acquire funding from Asia, Europe, as well as from Latin American countries. He is a graduate in Economic and Management Services, specialty in agroeconomics, and holder of diploma in general administration. So I think we can commence now. If we can start, do you have a question? Yeah. Okay, well, Mr. Donatus, would you like to
Ambassador, for those very, very technical presentation you did of Cameroon. I want to say you some sort of facilitated my job by going so detailedly in your presentation. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, again once more. My office is called the Cameroon Investment Promotion Agency, and CIPA is a new creation. We came into being in 2010, and we have basically 4 activities that we carry out. We do investment facilitation, we do investment generation, we do policy advocacy, and we equally grant licenses to investors who want to invest in Cameroon. So our job is simple. Those are the 4 cardinal tenet points of our job. And in this regard, our focus is more and more towards foreign direct investments. So it's for me a pleasure to talk about the regulatory environment for doing business in Cameroon, which happens to be one of the focal things on which we'll always talk when we go to look for investors. The ambassador has, in his presentation, given you a broad aspect of so many things that are happening in Cameroon, the mega projects that are happening in Cameroon in so many fields, and you're wanting to find out what accompanies that major projects. How do we accompany those major projects? How do we make them happen? And that's where we come to play, because, I mean, you would like to come and invest in Cameroon, but within which type of environment will you be investing in Cameroon? What are the rules and regulations governing the investment in Cameroon? How do I obtain the licenses to do what I want to do? And how quick can I do business in an environment which effectively is trying to attract me into its own particular framework? Well, we've got some key statistics. I think the ambassador did say that. I will not come back to that about what Cameroon is, the major aspects of Cameroon's presentation and its particular place in Central Africa and Africa as a whole. And I just want to highlight the point which the ambassador made concerning the strategic nature of Cameroon within the Gulf of Guinea, and the fact that you had a 350 million population, which he referred to, which were open for business, or which could be a potential source for an investor who comes into that particular region. I think it's a fact that I want to confirm. Confirm in the sense that when you look at Cameroon, one of the things is that you have a 1,500 kilometer border with a country like Nigeria, just like the US will have this wonderful border with Mexico. Just like the US will have this wonderful border with Mexico and the other countries which are just close to it. It gives the countries or the investor in that particular area all the leeway to move into this very, very big market. And I think one of the strategies that we have now in terms of trying to focus on investors is getting investors who can set up in particular free trade zones at the level of the hinterlands. We're talking of the areas which are closest to the Nigerian border, and effectively take advantage of that huge potential of the Nigerian market to commercialize their products within that particular market. Because most often than not, we look to Europe, we look to other areas, but we have potentials which are so close to us that we can exploit and effectively benefit from all the attendant consequences that go with that type of an investment. In terms of the policy framework, or in terms of what is being done to give and to permit an enabling environment, I just want to say within the past decade, the government of Cameroon has taken very, very major reforms in the development of economic policy and good governance. And in terms of economic policy, Cameroon has got, since about 5 to 6 years today, elaborated what we call a growth and employment strategy paper, which formulates a new economic vision for this country, and a vision which is aimed at making it an emerging and democratic country, united in diversity by the year 2035. This is the focus that all the players within the economy are trying to move forward in Cameroon now concerning its particular economic policy. And this economic policy is being sustained by a lot of things that are happening in terms of good governance and in terms of major reforms in various areas of the economy. I just want to mention the public-private sector institutions which are being set up to ensure that there is transparency within the private sector and the public sector, which is the private sector considered today as the main focus and the growth engine of the economy, and the public sector, which is trying to bring the business people as close as possible within various fora like the Cameroon Business Forum, the Prime Minister's Business Council, and other fora which are very, very important in trying to develop an entrepreneurial spirit within Cameroonians. The good governance institutions also include the institution which is in charge of fighting against corruption, which is called in its French acronym CONAC, and another institution which is in charge of fighting against money laundering, which are certain ills that have been troubling the economy. Within the framework of regulatory institutions also, Cameroon has created a lot of regulatory institutions within the electricity sector, the water sector, and the telecom sector, which try to regulate businesses within this sector so that they can be effectively transparent to the investor who goes into these areas. A lot of privatization has been done. A wide range of inefficient parastatal institutions have been privatized and handed over to the private sector, showing government's resolve to permit the private sector to become the main engine of growth in the country. And just to say the figure, it was about 150 which were on the list of privatization. And more in the hotel sector, many important hotel establishments, just to name a few, are today within this particular list of privatized companies. Institutions such as the Cameroon Investment Promotion Agency, where I work, have been created. Other institutions as the National Agency for Standards and Quality to ensure that Cameroon produces quality products that can be effectively, that can meet international standards, have also been put in place.